I want to ask you a question right away so we can make sure that we're on the same page here, because I don't necessarily think I heard an answer to the question. Do you or do you not support term limits? Because it kind of sounded like you don't, but yet I've seen legislation you've sponsored and I've seen flyers that says that you do. So which is it? Do you or do you not support term limits?
Well, first of all, we put 13 amendments on the floor to change the system because the system is broken right now, and that's one of the things I agree upon. And my conference put 13 up. The Democrats from New York City, remember this, we're outnumbered 106 to 44, 2-1 in the New York State Legislature. One of those amendments was term limits for legislative leaders because they can game the system over 20 or 25 years, like Sheldon Silver has. I am also the sponsor of regular term limits for legislators, but the only reason for term limits is they won't make the changes in the amendments to the system. What do we need? We need anti-bundling legislation, where you can get a whole bunch of small donations and bring in and saying, this is legal, but you get undue influence. We need the Pedro Espada bill, which I sponsored. Pedro Espada went to jail. He never reported his filings. I would make that a criminal offense for not to report his filings.
Yes or no?
I'm answering your question. I just told you I sponsored
so yes, you believe in 12-year term limits?
Term limits, but only if we can't make the changes that we've put forth. Because the last thing you want to do is say, look at all you good reform legislators, leave by yourselves. You know what you leave? The fox watching the hen house. I support term limits if it's for the entire conference, but I'm not going to walk out there and leave my constituents stranded with all these other guys who want to game the system and won't support the amendments that we put to the floor to make it a better system for them so others can't game it like Sheldon Silver did.
Well, I believe that actions speak louder than words. I believe that if someone says they believe in term limits, they should back that up with their actions. So I honestly believe it's hypocritical that in your campaign literature you say that you support term limits, yet you've been in office for 34 years. Maybe a campaign slogan should be Jim Tedisco fighting for term limits for 34 years.